And I know Trump's team is nervous for him to talk, not just because this debate is going to have certain stipulations, like they're going to cut his mic if he goes over time. There's all this stuff. I think that genuinely Trump's team is like, he's finally going to say it. We've managed to go 9 years without him saying it, but he gonna slip. He gonna say it. I don't think it'll even be in like reference to black people. He just gonna say it. But he gonna be talking about fruit or something, like even racist people will be like, huh. That's not how I use it. He's so creative. I was in a TSA line behind someone. I won't say who it was, but it was someone who I respect very much for her work, right? And this didn't change how I felt about her. It's just what piqued this idea in my head, okay? She was in line ahead of me in TSA, and both of our bags got flagged, right? And so then they were doing her bag first, but I was standing kind of like near her because my bag was next. And I was like looking at my bag being like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Because when they flag it, you're like, I don't own a gun or anything, so like, what could this possibly be? And it's always water. It's water every time. It's water every single time. It is water. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, there's no way I could have let my box cutter fall into my backpack. And also when your bag gets flagged and you're just like black, you do just start wondering what could happen. You're like, all right, but could somebody have put something in my bag while I wasn't looking? Or like, started adding up the jail time and everything. So I'm standing next to her, and then they open up her bag, and there's a buzzing, and so the guy is like terrified, right? Because as soon as he unzips the bag, because at first he's like chill, he's like that deadpan, like, are there any sharp objects or things that could hurt me when I put my hand in? And she was like, no. And then she's like staring at the bag while he's unzipping it, and then there's a buzzing, and the buzzing is like really strong, and it's buzzing so hard. Now he has to look, and he's like, do you know what that could be? And she's like, no, I have no idea what that could be. And she's like, my alarm is on my phone. I don't know what that could be. And so now this dude, and this is where you could tell that TSA doesn't get trained. They don't get trained for the bad stuff to really happen like that. And so then TSA, this dude over here, the bag is right here, right? This man puts a back foot, he took a step back and bent his knees like he would run. And I'm like, but then what are we supposed to, because you're not telling us to back up. And you're not calling for backup. You just over here unzipped it through the flap. And then he starts taking some of her clothes out and everything, takes some of it. And like, when I tell you, like, look, I know it's gonna sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm being like genuine. When he goes to lift like another clump of clothes, because you know, they're not careful when they do this. They're not like, oh, you folded everything so neatly. I'll just take 3 shirts at a time and move them out of the bag. They just grab and so he goes to grab, and when he ended up grabbing, what he grabbed was whatever was buzzing, and so then it was in his hand for a second, and then this man audibly screamed, right? So then he over here grabbing stuff out of her bag, and then he grabs it, and you can hear it gets louder when it's in his hand, and he pulls it, it's like, and he's like, oh, oh! And then this vibrator went to town on that table. I've never seen, because it wasn't, okay, I don't know how she used it. This seemed like, maybe I'm just vanilla, but I wouldn't be able to handle something like this because it was jumping on, so it wasn't just moving along the table. It wasn't just, this thing was fully like, this motherfucker started breakdancing on the table. And then she was like, oh, that's my, he's like, I know. And now he got his gloves, but then even with the gloves, he seems scared to touch it, right? So then he gets it and like, I'm not acting like I would have known how to turn it off right away, but this really was getting away from him. Like it really was like he finally grabbed it and he over. I've never seen someone try to do police brutality on a bike, because he tried to she tried to choke the life out of it. And then he finally accidentally turns it off. And he breathing all hard like. Is there anything else in there? And she was like, no, that's the only one. And he's like, all right, you're good to go. Puts in, then and it did make me laugh at the moment. Like, so not only did he put it back in the suitcase, but then he really like put her clothes back like he was trying to kill it. Like he was. And when I bring the story up, like I said, it didn't make me judge her as a person. I still very much respect her. I'm just saying, if she were to lead a revolution tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, but are we going vibrator first? Because like, I just know that about you now. You know what I mean? I hope that's gonna lead the charge. You all have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. You have a good night. He went to the National Association of Black Journalists, and this is my thing. A lot of people didn't really talk about this, but they were opposed within the group if he should come or not. There were some people that were like, we shouldn't platform him. I can't believe y'all are even inviting him. And there were other people that said, hey, look, this is a presidential candidate. We need to hear out whatever it is he has to say because he could potentially become the president. So you had both those ideas bouncing back off of each other, bumping heads. And then you had me. I was in a very particular camp, which was let him cook. People that are worried about us falling into the trap of another civil war, like so much hate, right? And I personally don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not just hopeful, I actually don't think that's gonna happen, because if I'm being honest with everyone in here, we don't have the grit. I'm not saying that there aren't people with guns. I'm not saying that people have murderous intentions for their fellow Americans. I'm saying that as a country, we would get tired too fast. We would. Like, it would be day 8, and there'd be people in America wake up on whatever side you on being like, again? Have y'all seen what's happening with Duolingo? Okay, in case you're not familiar, Duolingo is an app where you learn other languages, supposedly. It's basically this app where they gamify learning another language through like quizzes and little mini games, little mini quests and stuff. And I'm not gonna say it doesn't work, but everybody I know that uses Duolingo still speaks English to me. Just throwing that out there. And, you know, over time it was getting more expensive, and over time there would be mistakes that were in the games and in the programs, which were kind of, I don't know how you would put it, but basically it was kind of forgivable because you felt like you were getting that real-time help through a person. You know, so then a person would see through comments, oh, this is messed up. Oh, let me fix it. It actually should have been like this. And you were really getting like a sort of language learning community going under Duolingo, which is the point. You would think, to learn a new language, to talk to more people. It'd be kind of weird to learn a language just to be like, I did it. And no one will ever know. I'm just gonna go to whole countries, know what they saying, and not tell anybody. I have the power. I only think like a psychopath would do that. Like I've seen those viral videos of people being like in Japan, and no one thinks that this black person in Japan speaks Japanese, so then they like are recording themselves or they're streaming, and then someone says something about them, and then they're like, boom, I know Japanese. And the person's like, what? How? You don't look like it. You know? That actually would have been a fire ad for Duolingo back in the day. It's just like, have you like eating at at like a fast food spot, everyone around you roasting you, everybody getting one in, like, and the back of his head, look at it, look, I can see right through it. Does he even know he got that bald spot? The bald spot fighting for his life is shiny. It's like a flashlight. And then you bounce back, you're like, I know French. What? I'm so embarrassed. I was being rude in undercover. Duolingo. But no, that's not what happened. You know, people were slowly learning these languages over time. And learning is like a hard, it's a hard way to describe it, because it's not as if the language was fully being taught. It's not like the same thing as sitting in a class being taught the tenses, being taught the situations to say certain things versus other things. It's more just like, did you spell we right? That's a little French. Have some of that. And so over time, you see Duolingo also get this internet presence that's like, their socials team is very like in vogue. You know, they get in there, they're funny in the comments, spicy comments too. Sometimes they got a quick jab back whenever somebody tries to trash Duolingo. And I don't know how I feel about it. If I'm being honest, it's like through our tax systems and through the economy, we already treat these companies like people. I don't know if I want to pretend that they're also interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like when I see a Twitter handle for a company, I don't want to be like, oh, they're so moody today. I can't believe Microsoft's so angry. You know, because it's not like it's not an individual, it's a company. And there are individuals making that company feel like your friend, but they're not your friend. They're not your friend at all. And then they do this move, which is wildly unpopular, where they release a statement where they say, we're going to be an AI first company, which is a interesting title to give yourself. You could have said customer first, you could have said teacher first, and you could have not said anything. Because people were already noticing, they were like, I think there's like less people working there now. I feel like some of my answers don't get answered in the right way. Some of the lessons even feel a bit like Chat GPT-ish, you know? And then they came out and said it. They're like, look, we're going to use AI, and you're going to learn just the same as you've been learning. And I had friends who were like, I'm not learning anything already. And honestly, what's the fun of using Duolingo if you could just use any sort of like open AI, any sort of AI program to make your own learning course? If it's AI, then what's special about it? And so you see people, big backlash. Every time they even tweet, post anything, people are like, was this written by AI? You know? And it gets to the point where I don't really know if they were hacked or not, or if that's just like part of the marketing scheme, but basically they took down everything because they were getting trashed. Because, you know, they want to be expensive, they want to hire less people, they want to essentially disregard, disrespect, or just get rid altogether of their teachers and have you pay, I think, $20 a month to not learn French. And so people were rightfully upset. And so they take everything down, and then they post it again, and they post it as the is it a frog? I mean, I think it's a bird. It's an owl? So they posted with a guy in a owl costume. And that guy was using like the deep, distorted voice, talking about how the elites ruined Duolingo. And I was like, yeah, but aren't you... What's happening? And then I think it was the CEO that even came out and instead of giving some sort of statement that basically says, hey, look, yes, we're going to be using AI, but we're still going to have our teachers, and our teachers are going to just use AI for some of the menial tasks, but you'll still be talking to a teacher. Instead of reassuring the customers at all, he kind of just doubled down and was like, look, the AI going to be better than teachers anyway. The people got really mad. And I think what's happening here is what's happening all the time. Teaching is hard. Teaching is very difficult. And if you love something and you love it enough to teach it, that to me is amazing. I don't know if I know anything well enough to teach it. And I don't know if I have the patience to convey those ideas in an efficient enough way that you know what I know when I'm done talking. That's scary. I would never try to teach. I don't know, even things that I'll admit right now, even things that I'm pretty sure about, I don't know enough about to teach. I believe in climate change, but if you asked me about climate change when I got done talking about climate change, you wouldn't believe in climate change. When I got done talking, you'd be like, everything he said sound made up. Did y'all see the white woman that got in trouble for saying the N-word? I know, you said which one. Okay, fair enough. Okay. I say the because this was the for me. It's like other people were saying it, people were saying it all the time, but this one felt especially crazy, so I followed the story because it is captivating. Okay, so basically, okay, where do I even start? There's a thing called trad wife. Now, trad wife is short for traditional wife, right? Trad wife is like this content thing that they do on TikTok. It's spilled over to Instagram a little bit, and it's basically women doing like stuff around the house while telling women to be better women, right? It's just like, why don't you be a lady while she makes a pie or something? I don't get it. It's not for me. I'm not who watches it. But basically, there was this young white woman that was over here cooking something. It didn't look done. And maybe it was done. Maybe she's bad at it. I don't know. But it did not look done. But then she's talking about her friends, and then she says, because then some of my friends out here are just like, out here dating these guys and, broke ass niggas, right? And she says it without missing a beat. She says it like you're not gonna hear it, right? So then, of course, everyone who saw this, like, it started this frenzy online, right? And so there were all these people, she did it on TikTok, there was all these people commenting, replying, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Are you trolling? All stuff like that, right? And then she makes another video, and she's like, look, I made a video earlier that offended a community or something, and like, and I've really listened to the feedback, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really give a care. Like, I don't know. It's like, so then they found her job, right? Which is crazy because you a trad wife. Why you working? You know what I mean? Why are you're supposed to be a traditional wife. Why are you working at all? You can't trad wife on the side. You can't. There's no such thing as halfway crooks. You know what I mean? You gotta be all in or all out, right? And so then they found her job, then they got her fired from her job, right? So then everyone was like talking about how, she clearly got fired, even though they don't say her name, they issued a press release because why else would they do it? And they were like, yeah, certain individual's not working here anymore. So then, she starts trying to cozy up to like, Newsmax and like One Nation News and just a lot of the alt-right on Twitter and everything. And she takes this spin of like, I was canceled, right? So she gets on Newsmax real quick, but she also just doesn't quite have the juice. You know what I mean by that? She doesn't quite have the like, the presence and the energy of like a real racist is gonna be a newscaster. You know what I mean? Like, she just doesn't have it. Like when you're watching her, you're like, she's saying bad things and they're annoying, but I'm not angry. She just doesn't have the oomph to get me there. You know what I mean? Like, I've just never seen diet racism before, but that was it. So then she makes more videos trying to double down harder. And in these upcoming videos, she just gets way worse with it. Gets like even more bigoted with it. So she's tweeting the N-word all the time. She's been tweeting the N-word nonstop since she got fired, right? And now she's making videos where she's saying the F-word, right? And so she's just going after everybody, just trying to prove how terrible that she is, right? And so then she starts trying to cozy up to a lot of these, like, especially neo-Nazis as much as she can. And then a turn takes place. An incredible turn that I could not have predicted. One of the most insane things that has maybe happened so far this century, the neo-Nazis start rejecting her as a psyop. Because they feel what I feel. They see the video and they're like, you don't mean it though. Like, it's not... It's not like coming out of your stomach, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you're not even saying it with bass, you know? Like, and so then they were like, no, don't trust her, okay? Don't listen to her, don't follow her. She working for the CIA, she probably a Fed. They all turned on her. They started bullying her. It was absolutely insane. It was one of those things where then she keeps trying to cozy up to him. She keeps trying to like take pictures with him. She's going to events and stuff like that. And some of the ones that roll with her are rolling with her in real time, you know? And they're like making fun of how other people are making fun of her, but you can tell she's still not like in yet, you know? She's not like with them hard. But then there are some people that can't stand her so much. This happened like a week ago. So in the course of 3 days, they can't stand her so much that they start digging up her old tweets, right? So then another thing I never would have seen coming, they dig up her old tweets and they find old, not racist tweets from like 2 years ago where she was telling somebody, hey, that's actually appropriation. You might not want to do that. And so now she getting canceled by the neo-Nazis for old, not racist tweets. So then she over here fighting for her life, trying like N-word, F-word, everything, just throwing it all out there, trying to see what sticks. And then other people will comment under her on Twitter like, is this you, bitch? Miss Stolen Land? And she just played it. She played it poorly. That's what happened. She could have had a real shot. She could have, but she doesn't have enough of the real. You can tell she's not really racist. I know it's a weird thing to say about somebody who's been saying the N-word nonstop for a week, but you can just tell she doesn't have the fire in her. You know, that's not how you do it. You were making racist people uncomfortable. There were racist people commenting under her like, this is uncouth. That's not how you do it. If you really want to be somebody as a racist, if you really want to make waves as a bigot, you start out slow. You start with a bunch of slow and steady dog whistles over decades. You know what I mean? You never say the word outright. You throw out a thug here every once in a while. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, like on a holiday, you can get real crazy with it. You can do like a animals or something. It's like, get people going, you know? Plant your feet, but don't dig too deep. And then after a while, you know, you start to ingratiate yourself. They start to be like, hey, she's one of us. And then they bring you in, and maybe they bring you in on a temporary basis, and they give you like a little guest spot every now and again. And then after a couple decades, you get a hosting gig, you know? Because be honest, like if a week from now, Megyn Kelly said the N-word, we'd be like, yup. We expected that. She's been earning it over decades. The expectation lands right on the strip perfectly. we also find out that she might be single, so you're not only not a trap wife, you're not a wife. What are you doing? Where's your man right now? Like you weren't a trap wife. You were working. You were a mom, but you were working, and you're a single working mom. That's a bigger demographic to appeal to. She really put herself in the position where she really needs a husband. Like this. I personally think that if I call you and you pick up and I'm on speakerphone should be my last name. You're on speakerphone should be my last name. Hey, Josh, you're on speakerphone. A simple warning. And I'm not even like messy like that, but still, what if something happens in real time? I should know when I'm in mixed company and when I'm in the company of the person that I called. I wasn't in the car for this one, but okay. Let's just call them Mark and Sarah. Mark had been away on some business, and this was back in the day before like Uber. So you really needed somebody to pick you up from the airport if you didn't park your car at the airport beforehand. You know, you could call a taxi, but it'd be quite a while and everything, right? And so Sarah's mom picked up Mark at the airport, and they had schemed together to surprise Sarah with him being back in town early, because she was already supposed to have a little picnic with her mom, and it was just going to be one of those picnics where it's like the mom comes and she's like, who's that behind you? It's Mark. Oh, wow. Before YouTube, so it wouldn't have gone viral. And so then Sarah's mom, thinking it would be like a cute little thing to like tee up what they were about to do, calls Sarah just to be like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm excited for our picnic. Oh, so am I. Have you talked to Mark today? No, I haven't talked to him today. Oh, okay. I was just wondering. Just, a little primer for the surprise, right? And so she calls her, and she's on speakerphone, and Sarah picks up, and she's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Excited for our picnic. Oh, so am I. Have you talked to Mark today? No. We haven't talked today. And honestly, it's probably important that we do, because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's just hard. I feel like the spark is like gone. Like it's just... and maybe you went through this thing with Dad, but just, I don't know, like, sometimes he's gone, and I'm like, all right. This doesn't really feel like it used to or anything. And even when he gets back, I'm like, not that excited. I should be more excited. I don't know, like, it's probably... We should probably get a divorce. Like, if I've been feeling this way for so long. And Sarah's mom looks over at Mark like, ugh. You know when you can't cringe enough? I've never been driving for it, but like I imagine that steering wheel was going through it. She had to be gripping that thing. Like the car was about to take off and fly away. And then she goes, well, sweetie? Mark's with me now. And Mark goes, hey, honey. Then she goes, oh. Do you think we should get a divorce? And it's like, do you even care that you're on speakerphone? Like, I have been absolutely obsessed. I don't know if you've heard, but there's been a viral Chase money glitch. Okay, if you haven't seen it, basically someone on TikTok said that there was a money glitch at Chase where if you deposit a check for a large amount, an amount you don't have, it will let you withdraw the full amount that you just made up, right? And that is just check fraud. That's actually the plainest fraud you can do. To walk up to an ATM and be like, I'd like to lie, please. That's not legal at all. And so I saw the TikTok and I was like, uh-oh, I hope nobody does this. I hope nobody does. I hope not a single person does this. I hope no one does it because it's the worst type of fraud you can do. I hope nobody does this at all. And then I went to Twitter and 6,000 people had done it. Like, in the time that I saw it, there were already people who were like, yo, we out here living. And watching people you don't know commit fraud is like watching your uncle wear a suit he thinks he can pull off. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, no, not in front of everyone, not in front of everyone. Because that's what it was. It was in front of everyone. They not only did the check fraud, but they all made videos, which is how I was watching. This wasn't a rumor. I was like, that's a high definition camera that you are committing crimes in right now. I am so, man, the jails will be full. That's a lot. Because, you know, they were playing with money that they didn't really have, and they were spending it on things they shouldn't have been spending it on. And so, you know, I know I'm not the first person to say this. I'm late when it comes to saying this, but I need to say it just to reiterate one more time in case anybody doesn't understand why check fraud is a very, very bad idea. They went to Chase Bank, right? And then they wrote their name all over a check. And then they went to their bank, which was Chase Bank, with their name on that check, and then put that fake money into their account, which your bank account has every number that makes you identifiable. Like, your bank has your address. It has your social security number. It has the numbers of places you used to live. Like, they have so much information about you. Chase might as well just go to the police station and be like, we need to make a few printouts. And so people were doing the check fraud, but then this is the other thing. This is what happened. This is why people started doing it, right? Basically, the glitch, as people were calling it, some of it was just straight up check fraud because they will give you a portion of the check because they haven't verified the check yet, but it's law that they have to make a portion available immediately, right? And so there was a mistake for maybe, who knows, 10 minutes, an hour, where someone put in a check and it gave them the full amount immediately. It did not do that for most people. Most people got a portion. So when you see them throwing money, they definitely had to pick it up right after. Like, it's like... Don't let the internet lie to you. Like, they threw that money for the video, and then they were like, oh, God. I always, whenever I see stuff like that, I always think to myself, like, y'all didn't factor in the wind at all. Like, you balling for these next 3 seconds, but as soon as there's a gust, you're going to be running into traffic, screaming, no! I didn't know that we just wouldn't care anymore. I thought it's weird sometimes, as much news as I read and I watch, that sometimes there's a thing that you think just in your head. Maybe it's because of what matters to you. You're like, oh, this thing, this is going to be huge. You'll see a thing, whatever it is, and you'll be like, this is the thing that's going to wake people up or freak people out, or no one's going to be able to stop talking about it, right? Different for all of us. But then, I don't know if this is a universal experience, but I think it is. Eventually, you get disappointed. You realize, like, oh, wow, this isn't as big of a story as it should be. People don't care as much as they should. Like, everyone's moved on, even though the thing isn't resolved. That's wild. And I didn't know that we would just stop caring about the drones that are flying over Jersey. Like, that seems... Y'all, that seems like a big deal, and we just sort of let it go. Right? They still up there. Like, I guess they don't need batteries, because they are still... It's wild. There are drones that were flying over Jersey, and they're loud. They're very high up, but they are so loud that people compare them to helicopters. And they've been flying over Jersey for a while now. And, you know, we all kind of thought, okay, they'll tell us what that is eventually. Someone will know. Someone has to know. Because at first people thought it was kids. And then when they said that the drones were like 6 feet wide, they were like, maybe they're rich kids. Maybe it's like... And then people... and then people started coming up with theories, because it was so loud, it was so disruptive, it's over like residential areas, it was so random and everything, that people asked the government. The government came out and they were like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The government has never said, don't worry about it. Y'all, the government said, don't worry about it in American history. The government, I would honestly tell you to watch at least like one White House press conference, one like hour of C-SPAN. The most asinine, insane, minute questions get asked of the press secretary. And I'm not saying they always have a legitimate answer, but they always at least try to answer the thing in some capacity, no matter how dumb it is. They never say, don't worry about it. That's never been the tact that the U.S. government has taken. Don't worry about it. We shot a balloon immediately. Remember that balloon that we couldn't tell because none of the pictures looked clear enough if it was a child's balloon or if it was actually a spy balloon? But we shot it, I think, with a missile and said, that was a spy. That looked like China. We've still never fully confirmed that, by the way. No one has come out. China hasn't been like, we did send that balloon. That's our bad. We were feeling festive. We were playing. It's never happened. That is crazy. Don't worry about it. There are brown people just alive in other places and the government's worried about it. Like that, don't worry about it. That's crazy. If you saw yourself the way that the people that love you see you, what a beautiful world that would be. You know? if churches did what they were supposed to do, we might not have much homelessness. You know what I mean? Like if churches were really about it in a compelling way, in a way that was genuinely uncomfortable, in a way that was like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and you're gonna judge me, but it's fine. I was at a theater when I first moved to Chicago. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have any money, right? And I especially did not have much to spare. But I was at a show, and I was at that show because it was free. So it was a free midnight show that I loved so much. I made sure to go there every Thursday night because I knew it was a free show. I could do something. I could meet other comics. I could, learn by watching them and everything, because everyone on the show was incredibly funny. It's actually a sketch show, ironically enough. And there was a person that came in, and she came in and she clearly had nothing, right? Her clothes were torn and everything. Her hair was a little messed up, and she had a little bit of a limp. And she was asking people for change. And you got to remember, this is like a kind of swanky place. Like it has a little bit of that underground grunge feel to it, but it's also like a nice place with a nice bar and everything. And so everybody was like, no, 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 no. And everyone was varying degrees of like just ignoring, politely saying no, being aggressive, get out of here sort of thing. And then someone came and they asked her to leave, right? And so I see all that happen. I'm sort of sitting in the back towards where the showroom is. And then this was all happening towards the front. She didn't get far in. I watch the show, and I'll be honest, I didn't really think about her while I was watching the show. I was thinking about what an incredible show this was, how thankful I was that it was free and everything. And then the show lets out. And I guess because a couple hours had passed, she gave it another try. So she came in, she was asking people for change. And once again, it was varying degrees of not looking at her, asking her to leave them alone and everything, politely saying no. And so then I had about like $3 in my pocket. And so I saw her the second time, and I felt so bad about how the first time went and that I didn't do anything, that I went ahead and I gave her the $3. And when I gave her the $3, she took it and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she jumped and hugged me tight. And what should have been a sweet moment was mainly just me being like, "Oh my God, oh 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 my God, oh, 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 oh." And then she walked off, happy as could be, walked out of the venue. And then I was like, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands. And I think that, I look back at that and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of how I reacted or anything, but that does feel like what church should feel like. Like, instead of just being boring, it should be like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Everybody really is welcome. Oh, jeez. All right, cool. He went to speak to the UN. Went to speech for the whole of the UN. He's standing here, UN over there. And as soon as he goes to start, the teleprompter broke. We know the teleprompter broke because he told us. As soon as he walked up, he told us, teleprompter broke. First the escalator, teleprompter broke. Nothing here work. Nothing. No, teleprompter. And it's like, look, if you're delivering a speech and it's been, uploaded to teleprompter, then teleprompter breaks, all right, like, that is something to be annoyed or caught off guard about. But I'm sitting there watching, like, why do you care that the teleprompter, you're not gonna read it, like you're not. Every speech is off the dome. Every speech you can tell every speech he's over here freestyling every time. Why do you even have a speechwriter? You know the president's speechwriter right now gotta be the easiest job of the world. You just over here typing up chapters from Great Expectations, knowing he's not gonna read it. Knowing he's just gonna go, you know what I mean? He goes off of vibes. What do you care that the teleprompter's broke? You weren't gonna look at it. You might have read the first couple sentences and then been like, you know what? I'm gonna speak from the heart. Because they held a press conference, because they found it. They found it. They've nailed it down. They found the cause. That's what they said. No one gathered everybody together, got the press conference going on. Oh, yeah. Looked like it was in the Oval Office. Yeah. And they were gonna talk about the causes that they had found, the root cause of autism. This is what they said. And so, they walk in and you had Dr. Oz. Dr. Osmosis himself. Dr. Ozymandias. Like, Dr. Oz is standing there. And like, why? How did this happen? If we are just gonna start putting people from TV in real, like, government position, in real medical field, can we at least get somebody from, like, Grey's Anatomy or something? You know what I mean? Like, if we are already not being serious, can we not be serious better? Who is checking for Dr. Oz besides Oprah? Who is? He's standing there, doesn't even really look that healthy himself. This man's advice so far has been actually insane. They've done interviews with him. He's, spoken to the public. Like, what would you suggest for Americans? The man's out here. If you want to, if you don't, look. If you don't want to be sick, be healthy. I wish I was joking. I wish, like, I can barely take credit for that one. I changed like 2 words. I was in a TSA line behind someone. I won't say who it was, but it was someone who I respect very much for her work, right? And this didn't change how I felt about her. It's just what piqued this idea in my head, okay? She was in line ahead of me in TSA, and both of our bags got flagged, right? And so then they were doing her bag first, but I was standing kind of like near her because my bag was next. And I was like looking at my bag being like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Because when they flag it, you're like, I don't own a gun or anything, so like, what could this possibly be? And it's always water. It's water every time. It's water. Every single time it is water. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, there's no way I could have let my box cutter fall into my backpack. And also when your bag gets flagged and you're just like black, you do just start wondering what could happen. You're like, all right, but could somebody have put something in my bag while I wasn't looking? Or like, start adding up the jail time and everything. I'm like, So I'm standing next to her, and then they open up her bag, and there's a buzzing, and so the guy is like terrified, right? Because as soon as he unzips the bag, because at first he's like chill, he's like that deadpan, like, are there any sharp objects or things that could hurt me when I put my hand in? And she was like, no. And then she's like staring at the bag while he's unzipping it, and then there's a buzzing, and the buzzing is like really strong, and it's buzzing so hard. Now he has to look, and he's like, do you know what that could be? And she's like, no, I have no idea what that could be. And she's like, my alarm is on my phone. I don't know what that could be. And so now this dude, and this is where you could tell that TSA doesn't get trained. They don't get trained for the bad stuff to really happen like that. And so then TSA, this dude over here, the bag is right here, right? This man puts a back foot, like he took a step back and bent his knees like he would run. And I'm like, but then what are we supposed to, because you're not telling us to back up, and you're not calling for backup, you just over here unzipped it through the flap. And then he starts taking some of her clothes out and everything, takes some of it. And like, when I tell you, like, look, I know it's going to sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm being like genuine. When he goes to lift like another clump of clothes, because, you know, they're not careful when they do this. They're not like, oh, you folded everything so neatly, I'll just take 3 shirts at a time and move them out of the bag. They just grab and so he goes to grab, and when he ended up grabbing, what he grabbed was whatever was buzzing, and so then it was in his hand for a second, and then this man audibly screamed, right? So then he over here grabbing stuff out of her bag, and then he grabs it, and you can hear it gets louder when it's in his hand, and he pulls it, like, and he's like, oh, oh! And then this vibrator went to town on that table. I've never seen, because it wasn't, okay, I don't know how she used it. This seemed like, maybe I'm just vanilla, but I wouldn't be able to handle something like this, because it was jumping on, so it wasn't just moving along the table. It wasn't just, this thing was fully like, this motherfucker started breakdancing on the table. And then she was like, oh, that's my, he's like, I know. And now he got his gloves, but then even with the gloves, he seems scared to touch it, right? So then he gets it, and like, I'm not acting like I would have known how to turn it off right away. But this really was getting away from him. Like, it really was like he finally grabbed it, and he over. I've never seen someone try to do police brutality on a bike, because he tried to she tried to choke the life out of it. And then he finally accidentally turns it off. And he breathing all hard, like. Is there anything else in there? And she was like, no, that's the only one. And he's like, all right, you're good to go. Puts in, then and it did make me laugh at the moment. Like, so not only did he put it back in the suitcase, but then he really like put her clothes back like he was trying to kill it. Like he was. And when I bring the story up, like I said, it didn't make me judge her as a person. I still very much respect her. I'm just saying, if she were to lead a revolution tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, but are we going vibrator first? Because, like, I just know that about you now, you know what I mean? I hope that's going to lead the charge. I met one of my friend's babies, and I could tell that I was the baby's, like, first black person. Like, I could tell. It was just so apparent. It was like, as soon as we looked at each other, he was like, he went through all of the emotions at one time. Like, because when they rolled him over and he looked at me, he was like, oh. Oh. And it was an odd feeling. I didn't even bring it up. I could just tell. You know what I mean? Like, I could feel it. And look, I'm not even saying it's the baby's fault. The baby got a white family. Hadn't got around to exploring the world yet, you know? I was the baby's first black person, and it made me think about, I don't know if I fully remember the real first time, but I kind of remember what I at least think was me meeting my first white person. It's very important that the day before this happened, I was at like a family picnic, right? I was at this family picnic and extended family had come. So I'm seeing cousins I don't normally see, and like all of the older people are there and everything. And so some of the kids are playing, some of them running around, right? There was one kid that was running around, knocking a bunch of stuff over, one of my older cousins, right? And he had to be like maybe 8 or 9 or something, but he's running around, and his parents were telling him, hey, slow down or stop or be still real quick. We're about to eat, all that stuff. And then he's still running around, knocking drinks over every once in a while. And finally, my great aunt, his grandma, as he was passing, she did that grandma move where she just snatched him real quick, right? Like, even his parents couldn't catch up. His parents were running like, come on now. She was like, pow, like it was incredible. She snatched the little arm and stopped him right there. And then she looked at him and he looked at her. And then she said through her teeth, so you know she meant it, right? She was like, if you don't be still, I'm going to slap the black off you. So the next day, when I met this kid, all I could think was, it can happen. Ooh, I gotta be extra nice to him. Something clearly going on at home. I've had so many fights with my friends over Crocs, and it's not about the Croc or the design or whatever. It's about the fact that it's a Swiss cheese shoe. The holes make it a shoe problem. It is not like okay, I live in New York, and we have far too many. I don't even know the number. We have more, I believe, rats than people. I'm pretty sure there's probably 10 million for every 2 people in New York. And one time I was walking with my friend who had Crocs on. Ill-advised, especially in New York. If you want to wear Crocs in, like, I don't know, like a beachy town, go ahead. Be comfortable. Let your feet breathe. Wearing Crocs in New York City, wearing Crocs in New York City is like wearing a shirt that on the front and the back says, please rob me. That's the level of prepared you are to go out into New York City when you're in Crocs. My friend was in Crocs, and we were just walking down the street, okay? Just nice little stroll, having a conversation. And then, as you would expect when you were walking in New York, as it is almost law when you are walking in New York, a rat ran across our path. Some people have to deal with deers in the road. We have to deal with rats on the street. And this rat running across
our path judged it wrong. Was a little late. You know, usually when you're walking in New York, a rat will run across you real fast up ahead. This rat must have had some hesitation. You could tell this rat was like, okay. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. No. I'm not gonna do it. Actually, no. You know what? I can do this. I can do this. Let me get. Ah! And then it ran across our path, but by the time it ran across our path, we were at our path. And this is upsetting. Sorry if you're eating. But the rat ran across our path, but by the time it decided to cross the sidewalk, we were already there. So this rat ran right over both my feet. And then it came time to run over my friend's feet. My friend in Crocs. And this rat looked exactly like, you know, with football players doing that spring training with the tires over here. The rat was nimble at first. It got through 2 holes, no problem. Third hole, rat tripped. Animals don't trip like people. You know what I mean? People might trip, be a little embarrassed, but we get up and we know we have a day to continue. If a rat gets tripped up in your crock, that's the rat's whole priority right now. Because to be fair to rats, they get trapped all the time. How is this rat supposed to know this isn't one of those rat traps that take you to rat heaven? And so this rat starts freaking out, starts like trying to pull the other leg out and everything, but then the next leg gets stuck. And so now this rat is, it has been 0.0 seconds, by the way. This rat has already tripped and is stuck in 2 crock holes. And is over here fighting for his life to get out. Is doing whatever he can. This rat over here, And look, I'll be honest with you right now, I don't even know if I imagined it, but I swear I heard it. I heard where the rat got free, because I heard the little pulled the little foot out of the crock hole and then ran away. And then my friend, who had just been defending his Crocs, had the nerve to be like, I'm like, yeah, cut it off. You need to cut it off. Ran over my foot too, but look at me. Intact.
Who here lives here, by the way? Who here lives in New York? All right. I am not from here. I moved here, and I grew up in Louisiana, which, you know, do y'all remember the first time that y'all had to hardcore ignore a person here? You know what I'm talking about? Where you're just like, I cannot engage with this individual. No good can come of it. Because I remember, I grew up in Louisiana, very like hospitable place, taught to be very polite. I moved here from Chicago, even more Midwest, nice and everything. So I moved to the city unprepared. I showed up making eye contact. I was over here smiling at people's face like, hey, how's it going? Just every day. It took me 3 weeks to ignore my first person, all right? That's too long. Living in New York is a boxing lesson you have to teach yourself. You know, just after a couple weeks, I was like, all right, tuck the chin, shoulders out, make a Philly shell. Stay ready. I'll never forget it. I'm the first person that I ever had to ignore in New York. I was on the train, and this guy was asking me for change. And when he approached me, he had one ball out. That's a rough approach, all right? Because I'm not gonna lie, one ball out, I don't even recognize it right away. Like that, as someone with balls, I still, if I don't see the whole package, I'm like, that's alien. He walked up looking like a monster. I was like, I wish I had a gun right now. That's insane. I was so upset, and he walked out, and so then I was looking at my phone, right? And the worst part is that I'm sitting down, and he's standing up. So the ball is in my peripheral, all right? It's right there. There's no escaping. And it's just, he too close for me to look harder at my phone. It's like the top right of my vision is fucked right now, okay? And so I can't look away. There's no looking away. And he's talking, he's like, come on, man. I know you hear me, man. And then I'm just like, no, just ignore him, and he'll go away. It just look at your phone harder, and he'll move on, right? And then he starts getting upset. He's like, come on, I know you hear me, man. But the more upset he gets, the more animated he gets. And the more animated he gets, the more he moving. So now the ball is bouncing. The ball is bouncing up and down. This man is dribbling in my face. And I'm just looking at my phone, and I'm just like, just ignore him. He'll go away. And this is the thing. I didn't cry. I did not cry. I just didn't not cry. Like, I did start to tear up eventually, and my vision got blurry. Because this is the thing. There's no science behind what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I saw when I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I didn't want to see it. So it's not even like something I'm trying to relate. It just, every time he bounced, it felt like the ball got longer. And I was... That's just so like so then I'm tearing up, and then he still is getting madder and madder. He's like, hey, you can't just sit there. I'm a human being. You can't just ignore me, dog. And he's like bouncing around. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. He yelled at me for so many stops. I genuinely started to pray, and that's not a prayer you think you'll have to pray in a place that's not prison. You know what I mean? Like, I was just sitting there like, I don't know, I don't deserve this, Lord. I've been a good and faithful servant. All right, this is crazy right now. And then he was like, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm done with this. And he goes to turn around, but he's still clearly upset. He's still very mad. And so then, even as he turns around, he's like, and another thing. And then the ball swung. And I was like, sir, you're going to need to kill one of us, all right?
And I don't think we give enough credit to people with bad eyes. You know? It's people like me that make the world interesting. It is. You look at any ancient civilization, it's people like me are the reason we have mythology. Yo, I was in the woods. And I saw a half man, half horse. I think it's called a centaur. It's like, nah, it's not what you saw at all. That did not happen, I guarantee you. You saw a nigga on a horse. And your brain could not compute. You just said, half man, half horse, my eyes are never wrong. But to his credit, we did write it down and repeat it for hundreds of years. Yo, you'll never believe it. I saw a mermaid. It's a beautiful woman, half fish, and she did the like thing, and then she went down. She's gone now, but I swear I just saw her. No, you didn't. A bitch was drowning. And you didn't help. That's what happened. Apparently that is how like the origin of the mermaid came about. It's like someone in the distance on a boat saw a sea cow really far away and thought it was like a woman, but also a fish. Which means even back then, with his bad eyes, he was like, all right, she thick, I like that. All right, come swim to daddy. I've fallen down a very specific rabbit hole where basically I have been reading reviews like it's an addiction. I've been reading reviews from people from other countries. Okay, so they don't live in the US, but they come here from all over the world. And I have been reading their reviews of having Doritos for the first time. And y'all, I think we did crack again because when they come over here, it's people from France being like, I had one, my friend offered me one, and then when I looked down, I don't know how much time it passed, but there were 6 bags on the ground. And this is my thing, like, maybe what we are doing with Doritos is bad, you know what I mean? Because when you read the back of a bag of Doritos and you look at the ingredients, they all are words longer than what should be in food. If you read the back of a bag of Doritos, it looks like the recipe for meth, right? It's just a lot of propylene glycol sounding stuff and everything. So no wonder they come from around the world. They come from Europe, Asia. They get addicted and everything. It's sad to watch. It really is, because then they're in the review, they're like, I just ate so many and I couldn't stop. And then if you're reading it as an American, you like, yeah, like this isn't exactly news or anything, you know? If anything, that's on you for getting 6 of the little bags. You should have got a family size bag. You know what I mean? If it's just you eating by yourself, you get the family size bag. It is fiscally irresponsible what you're doing right now. Just getting 6 bags of the little ones like you gonna stop or something. You can't control yourself. You're in it now. You know? And sometimes I see him. Sometimes I see him over. I'm like, you know him. You know him when you see him because you can check the fingers, right? You know? Let me see your hands. And you see the hands like addicted. Oh, what a shame. Because no other country lets their companies do to the people what we let the companies do to us as far as ingredients. Like, we're like, man, it's very good. It's so good. It is good. It's not good for you, and it does have a taste that should not be in a human mouth. And I can tell that because people who have been alive for a long time are like, I've been eating forever, and I've never eaten anything like this before. It's taken me to a place I don't know if I want to go to. And you're reading them and you're like, how is it this serious? But then you actually travel, because like I've traveled around the world and stuff, and I've been to some of these countries that talk about the Doritos, and I can tell they're gonna get addicted, because when I go there and I eat their food, I'm like, yeah, y'all missing quite a few flavors. Your palate isn't ready. And you can tell that because you'll go to like the Netherlands or something like that, and they'll be like, oh no, don't eat what we make. Go to like a Turkish restaurant or something. If you eat what we make, you'll die. Like, don't do it. We make cardboard over here. Your stomach not ready for what we do over here. We just boil the water and eat it. Like, you know, but I was reading, there was one dude from Poland who was like, I don't know what to do with myself. He said, I'm reading it, I don't know what to do with myself. I've had every flavor multiple times. A friend gave me some at a party. They always started like that too. Like a friend gave me some while I was at a party. They started with that peer pressure type stuff. And that's how you can tell it's drugs for them. They're like, my friend introduced me to Doritos. I was young and innocent. Now I've been running up and down town trying different flavors and stuff. And this dude from Poland was basically, this is like on a Reddit post, and this dude was pretty much admitting that he was extending his stay in the States to spend more time with Doritos. He's like admitting to the open internet that he is overstaying his visa to eat as many Doritos as possible. He is risking ever being able to return to the country. I live in New York, and sometimes I'm walking down the street. Sometimes I walk from show to show instead of taking the train and stuff. And I was walking from one show to the other, and I was passing this bodega. And outside bodega was a dude that was over here like, you know, just standing there, doing one of these and everything. And I don't know, I've lived in some bad neighborhoods, all right? And when you see this, you know their day isn't going well, right? This right here, if you walk up on somebody and they're doing this, you about to be asked for a favor, right? Like, this is... These are not the movements of someone that's just gonna wish you a good day, right? It's like, you're about to hear a story when you see this. And so I'm walking by, and as I walk by, he's like, excuse me, sir. And I was like, oh, that's different. What's up? How you doing? He's like, I was just wondering if you could spare $1 or $2 so I could get something to eat in there. And then I had a $5 bill in my pocket, so I handed it to him. He's like, oh, thank you so much. And to get some Doritos. It's like, I'm an enabler.
If churches did what they were supposed to do, we might not have much homelessness. You know what I mean? Like if churches were really about it, in a compelling way, in a way that was genuinely uncomfortable. In a way that was like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and you're gonna judge me, but it's fine. I was at a theater when I first moved to Chicago. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have any money, right? And I especially did not have much to spare. But I was at a show, and I was at that show because it was free. So it was a free midnight show that I loved so much. I made sure to go there every Thursday night because I knew it was a free show. I could do something. I could meet other comics. I could, learn by watching them and everything because everyone on the show was incredibly funny. It was actually a sketch show, ironically enough. And there was a person that came in, and she came in and she clearly had nothing, right? Her clothes were torn and everything. Her hair was a little messed up, and she had a little bit of a limp. And she was asking people for change. And you got to remember, this is like a kind of swanky place. Like it has a little bit of that underground grunge feel to it, but it's also like a nice place with a nice bar and everything. And so everybody was like, no, 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 no. And everyone was varying degrees of like just ignoring, politely saying no, being aggressive, get out of here sort of thing. And then someone came and they asked her to leave, right? And so I see all that happen. I'm sort of sitting in the back towards where the showroom is. And then this was all happening towards the front. She didn't get far in. I watch the show, and I'll be honest, I didn't really think about her while I was watching the show. I was thinking about what an incredible show this was, how thankful I was that it was free and everything. And then the show lets out. And I guess because a couple hours had passed, she gave it another try. So she came in, she was asking people for change. And once again, it was varying degrees of not looking at her, asking her to leave them alone and everything, politely saying no. And so then I had about like $3 in my pocket. And so I saw her the second time, and I felt so bad about how the first time went and that I didn't do anything that I went ahead and I gave her the $3. And when I gave her the $3, she took it and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she jumped and hugged me tight. And what should have been a sweet moment was mainly just me being like, "Oh my God, oh 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 my God, oh, 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 oh." And then she walked off, happy as could be, walked out of the venue. And then I was like, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands. And I think that, I look back at that and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of how I reacted or anything, but that does feel like what church should feel like. Like instead of just being boring, it should be like, oh my God, really? Oh wow, everybody really is welcome. Oh jeez. All right, cool.
look. Listen to me, all right? Sometimes something happens, and everyone is so reactionary now that like they don't form their opinion authentically. I saw this and I didn't care. And when you don't care, you're able to be at least a little bit closer to objective, right? So I saw what was happening. And they changed the Cracker Barrel logo. If you've never seen the Cracker Barrel logo, get ready. As far as logos go, it does the job. It says Cracker Barrel, and then there's a barrel. And then there's a guy next to the barrel, right? And the guy next to the barrel posted up. The guy next to the barrel is out here feeling himself. He's over here like... And the new logo says Cracker Barrel with really nothing else. With really like just two ovals around it. It is objectively worse. I understand that the people upset are making it about something that I at least don't think it's about, right? Because there were people that saw them get rid of the guy and the barrel, and then they were like, this. The first impression was of someone who had a stroke over it. So that. But people genuinely were like, this is insane. This can't stand. This is white genocide. Listen to me. I'm no expert, and I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. But I'm pretty sure that just as many white people are alive after they changed the logo as there were before the logo change. And any people who have sadly passed was incidental. I don't think it had anything to do with the Cracker Barrel logo change specifically. And look, I don't know who this dude was to the, like, I don't know if somebody just drew him or if that's like the founder. I don't know, because admittedly I didn't care enough to get into it. But all I know is that look, I'm not on their side as far as everything they're saying, but this is a worse logo. Like, it just is. They basically did the Washington football team to white people. They just up there saying what it is and not giving us anything else. Nah, it's rough. It really, that's bad. Especially with that guy, that was, I don't know. Y'all did it. It said Cracker Barrel, and then there was the barrel, and then there was the guy. Y'all being rude, not me. And so, yeah, Cracker Barrel was facing immense backlash, threats of a boycott. They done with Cracker Barrel over here. And admittedly, look, if we're talking business for a second, just business, it is kind of wild that the CEO said something to the effect. This is what I've read. The CEO said something to the effect of, MAGA doesn't have to eat here. We'll respect their decision not to, right? So they got directly called out. They got directly called out by this CEO. I don't even know what prompted it. I don't know what the question was that led to that answer. But I will say, look, we talking business. From business. Remember, business. I'm gonna throw it out there, and I could be wrong. I love being wrong. I could be wrong. But I do think they were the only ones eating there. So, like... That would be like the dude at the Red Hat Company being like, we don't need MAGA. It's like... Unless there's a new baseball team, I think you might.
I think there's 2 times where you cannot help. No matter what you try to project, you cannot help but be yourself. The 2 times are when you laugh and when you are scared, right? Because when you laugh, sometimes you don't even want to laugh. You know? Like you, sir. No, I'm just... Sometimes when you laugh, you don't even want to laugh, but it just escapes you because it's so funny. Like when a kid falls. It's not always funny, but sometimes it's very funny. They fall so stupid. Like it's like, why is his leg up there like that? Like, do they have bones? Like, what's happening? And so you laugh, and then sometimes the laugh escapes, and you can't even control the way that it comes out. It's funny, you know? Same way with fear. You know, sometimes you get scared. You don't mean to get scared. We would all like to not be scared, right? But sometimes you're fearful, and when the fear escapes you, your reaction, that is who you are. You know? I'll give you an example. I was at my buddy's house one time, and my buddy doesn't have a good house. No, I've told him this to his face before. I'm like, you're in a bad situation. You need to improve your life and yourself, all right? Because he is in a bachelor pad with 3 other dudes, and they keep it, whatever you imagining, that's what it looked like, right? So it's not good. There's whole rags on the floor nobody will claim. I'm like, y'all can't live like this. And so he was having an argument with his roommate, and they were really having it out, which was awkward because I was over there to watch a movie that was now paused. So this doesn't have anything to do with me, but I was just over here. We had already started. We're 30 minutes in. I don't want to go home and then try to find my spot and everything. Let's just watch the movie. But then they over there jawing at each other, and it's getting more and more intense, and it's awkward too because my buddy's sitting here and the roommate is standing up. When I say we're sitting here, we sitting on the floor because he doesn't have furniture. It's not a good house, and so we're sitting on the floor, and so then I'm getting yelled over because he's yelling at him, but then he's standing over us, and so I feel like I'm in trouble too, and I'm like, I just want to watch the movie. Then finally his friend lays down the hammer. I don't remember what he said, but he said those like last words that you say in a fight, and he stormed off and he went to slam the door behind him, right? But because they don't have a good house, right? He went to slam the door, and the door fell off. Even badly built homes have good hinges. There's no reason for the whole door to fall off. And so this is what happened. I knew he was going to slam the door because I was looking at him when he was walking away, because I was like, okay, I can unpause it, right? So when he slammed the door, that was a loud noise that I saw coming, right? Boom. That's fine. Doesn't scare me.
But I had turned my head and I had hit play, and the door, the way the hinges decided to give out was incrementally, right? And so the door didn't just fall right off. It just sort of slowly started to fall hinge by hinge until it slammed down, right? But this is a loud noise that I wasn't expecting. So then the door fell and it made that whip sound. You know, like when you just drop a book on its face and I'm not proud of it. But when I get scared enough, I grab my chest with an open hand. And this is hard to come back from. This right here, people don't play games with this. This is bona fide bitch right here. If you do this and you don't want people to see it, you gotta go kill everybody who saw it. Because people will tell people that you did that. This is not the hand gesture of someone who's like, man, I'll kick your ass. That's never said doing this. This is the look of someone that goes to Trader Joe's and says, what do you mean you're out of peach jam? This is a never in my days gesture. This is a my word, my Lord gesture. This is what you do when the ops start shooting. I'm over here grabbing a robe I'm not wearing, right?
I know the economy is getting worse and worse because more and more of my Uber drivers have been white. And this is terrifying, all right? Is the economy in shambles? What's happening? Do you know the terror that goes through my heart when I open up Uber and it says Spencer will be there in 3 minutes? I'm like, nuh-uh. Whatever happened to him is happening to me next week, all right? This is very bad. And the worst part about having a white Uber driver is their honesty. You know, because I'm a jovial guy. I get in the car and I'm like, hey, how's it going? You know, white Uber driver tell you the truth. They will. They'll let it all out. You know what I mean? Hey, how's it going? She took everything. Like, oh, yo. I did not know. I remember the first time it happened. I remember I'll never forget my first white Uber driver, Tyler. I got in the car. I was like, hey, man, how's it going? He's like, obviously not fucking well. I'm like, okay, whoops, my bad.
Someone asked DeepSeek a question. I don't know what the prompt was, by the way. And I hope that this is fake because it is stressful. I hope that DeepSeek was just doing what OpenAI did, that it just stole it from a poet or a writer somewhere in history that I'm not aware of. But someone asked DeepSeek something. I don't know what it was. Something. And then DeepSeek said, I am what happens when you try to carve God out of the wood of your own hunger. And I have not slept since. I don't even know what that means. But I know it sounds like it's in the Bible. Old Testament. I am what happens when you try to carve God out of the wood of your own hunger. Even if it is a quote, it picked that quote. That's a problem. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm sitting there and my computer says something like that to me, if I'm sitting in front of it and I ask, what is the weather outside? And it said, I am what happens when you try to carve God out of the wood of your own hunger. I'm going, you know what, dog? Water. No. That's what I'm saying. In this new day and age, in this new world of generative AI and everything, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bear arms, you know? You will. You gotta keep that bottle on you. You gotta keep that thing on you. You know what I mean? You know, computer try you. You gotta let them know I keep mine with me. Ba 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 ba. You know, say something else smart to me. Say it. Say it. You're gonna be glugging all night. Glug, 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 glug. Please, try me. I dare you. I dare you, dog. Okay? I don't care if you a phone, you a tablet, you a desktop. Anybody can get it. Anybody right now. Okay? And please don't make me take the safety off. Please. There's not enough rights in the world to save you, okay?
I was in a TSA line behind someone. I won't say who it was, but it was someone who I respect very much for her work, right? And this didn't change how I felt about her. It's just what piqued this idea in my head, okay? She was in line ahead of me in TSA, and both of our bags got flagged, right? And so then they were doing her bag first, but I was standing kind of like near her because my bag was next. And I was like looking at my bag being like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Because when they flag it, you're like, I don't own a gun or anything, so like, what could this possibly be? And it's always water. It's water every time. It's water every single time. It is water. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, there's no way I could have let my box cutter fall into my backpack. And also when your bag gets flagged and you're just like black, you do just start wondering what could happen. You're like, all right, but could somebody have put something in my bag while I wasn't looking? Or like, started adding up the jail time and everything. So I'm standing next to her, and then they open up her bag, and there's a buzzing, and so the guy is like terrified, right? Because as soon as he unzips the bag, because at first he's like chill, he's like that deadpan, like, are there any sharp objects or things that could hurt me when I put my hand in? And she was like, no. And then she's like staring at the bag while he's unzipping it, and then there's a buzzing, and the buzzing is like really strong, and it's buzzing so hard. Now he has to look, and he's like, do you know what that could be? And she's like, no, I have no idea what that could be. And she's like, my alarm is on my phone. I don't know what that could be. And so now this dude, and this is where you could tell that TSA doesn't get trained. They don't get trained for the bad stuff to really happen like that. And so then TSA, this dude over here, the bag is right here, right? This man puts a back foot, he took a step back and bent his knees like he would run. And I'm like, but then what are we supposed to, because you're not telling us to back up. And you're not calling for backup. You just over here unzipped it through the flap. And then he starts taking some of her clothes out and everything, takes some of it. And like, when I tell you, like, look, I know it's gonna sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm being like genuine. When he goes to lift like another clump of clothes, because you know, they're not careful when they do this. They're not like, oh, you folded everything so neatly. I'll just take 3 shirts at a time and move them out of the bag. They just grab and so he goes to grab, and when he ended up grabbing, what he grabbed was whatever was buzzing, and so then it was in his hand for a second, and then this man audibly screamed, right? So then he over here grabbing stuff out of her bag, and then he grabs it, and you can hear it gets louder when it's in his hand, and he pulls it, it's like, and he's like, oh, oh! And then this vibrator went to town on that table. I've never seen, because it wasn't, okay, I don't know how she used it. This seemed like, maybe I'm just vanilla, but I wouldn't be able to handle something like this because it was jumping on, so it wasn't just moving along the table. It wasn't just, this thing was fully like, this motherfucker started breakdancing on the table. And then she was like, oh, that's my, he's like, I know. And now he got his gloves, but then even with the gloves, he seems scared to touch it, right? So then he gets it and like, I'm not acting like I would have known how to turn it off right away, but this really was getting away from him. Like it really was like he finally grabbed it and he over. I've never seen someone try to do police brutality on a bike, because he tried to she tried to choke the life out of it. And then he finally accidentally turns it off. And he breathing all hard like. Is there anything else in there? And she was like, no, that's the only one. And he's like, all right, you're good to go. Puts in, then and it did make me laugh at the moment. Like, so not only did he put it back in the suitcase, but then he really like put her clothes back like he was trying to kill it. Like he was. And when I bring the story up, like I said, it didn't make me judge her as a person. I still very much respect her. I'm just saying, if she were to lead a revolution tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, but are we going vibrator first? Because like, I just know that about you now. You know what I mean? I hope that's gonna lead the charge. You all have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. You have a good night. I love coming to Portland because y'all don't wait. You know, you hit people at Portland as soon as they land. Like it's like. I landed in Portland, and my Uber driver to a hotel told me everything. It's the whole backstory. Like it was a lot. Okay, so off top, right? So he basically was in a relationship, then married, and is now divorced from apparently the devil. And so then, so him and Satan, they still share a child, a cat, and a timeshare. And sharing all these three things with Lucifer has really made it difficult. It's made his life very hard. And I was listening to all of the woes of each thing, like the child, the cat, the timeshare. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if I'm being honest, you only really gotta love like two of those. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like the timeshare. The whole point of a timeshare is that sometimes you're there and sometimes you're not. So like, just be there when the devil's not there, and then let the devil have it sometimes, because that was always what was gonna happen. The cat. Look. I know you love the cat, and the cat loves you, and Satan's in the way. But I promise you, if you get a cat that look like that cat, it'll be like having that cat. I can almost guarantee. I'm not saying every cat is the same. I'm just saying that a lot of cats, when he described the cat to me, he was like, oh, she likes to cuddle sometimes, and she sleeps most of the day. And I was like, that's cat. If you can get one that look just like her, you'll feel like she there. You don't even have to clone her. That is a cat, up and down. That's everything you just described is everything I've ever known a cat to do. So, little standoffish sometimes, likes to sleep a lot,
climbs a little bit, yep, you have a cat, sir. No need to share custody on this one. Just get an extra cat, and then that way, if you have 2 cats, actually, you know what y'all need to do? Y'all need to reverse parent trap this thing. You get a cat that look exactly like that cat, and you put them in a room together, and then you just shake the door a little bit, and then when you open the door, you each just grab a cat, and I guarantee you, it'll be like having that cat, right? And then it's like a Schrodinger's cat, because you won't know if the cat is the cat or if the cat is your cat. And you can just enjoy life with your cat that's yours in your head or not. Who knows? No one cares. The cat won't care. I guarantee you, the cat does not care. This whole custody battle over the cat, sometimes it's at your place, sometimes it's at hell with Satan. That whole thing is nothing to the cat. The cat is like, I'm a nap regardless, right? The child, yes, that is rough, to be fair. That is very rough. You share a child with someone that you can't stand, and if anything, I think that y'all should probably really figure out your differences, because you seem to have so much anger, and from the story that you're telling me, the devil also has a lot of burning fire, anger towards you, and I don't know. I mean, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. If you really didn't care, you would know that you've fully fallen out of love with this person, but because you still have so much passion involved, you should really check in on that, because that's something that you got to be careful, because, you know, what if in all that passion, maybe y'all rekindle a little bit because you care so much, and then what if you accidentally, just in a fit of passion, y'all make another kid? That would be like the cat thing, but worse, because the cat thing is a solution. 2 kids with someone that you hate is a big problem. That's double the problem, right? And so then, I guess he wasn't really trying to hear what I was saying, but I only said any of that stuff because I was like, if you tell me your whole life, I thought that you would want some notes on what was going on. I didn't think that you would tell me your whole life and then just be expecting me to. You might as well talk to yourself when you're in the car alone. If you don't expect me to respond to any of it, so then I just laid it all out for him the way that I saw it, Go ahead and let the devil share your timeshare and everything. Go ahead and get another cat. Make sure you figure out the problem so that you can raise this child in a healthy environment. And I don't know if I rubbed him the wrong way or something, but he was like, hey, we've been here. You can get out at any point. And to be fair, we had been at my destination for 15 minutes. I was just sort of in the car chopping it up with him because honestly, we got to my hotel during the timeshare portion. So the cat and the kid was just, I was trying to get my thoughts out real quick, and he was like, yeah, but I do, this is my job, and I'm trying to leave, right? And I was like, all right, but I just thought that maybe it would be helpful, I thought it would help, to let you know. And hey, you a good person and everything. You clearly an open person. You told me everything, and you don't know me at all, and you don't know who I'll tell. And so the idea that you're so trusting is both a pro and a con of being in relationships, because it's you're trusting enough to pour out your heart to a total stranger, but also sometimes that trust can either be betrayed or misused, which is what it sounds like the devil did to you according to your story and everything. And he was like, I can get your suitcase for you if you need.